Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to another spirit message and tip that I wanted to share on the channel. This is for when you are working on productive autopilot. So I'm going to explain what that is, but for when you are working on productive autopilot, just trust it and go with it. So I pulled these two cards that did come out in the last reading. It really does actually kind of reflect this spirit message, because we have the High Priestess on the left, which is what you're embodying, and on the right is the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Ariel, for the work that you're doing in the physical. This is for when you're working on a productive autopilot, to just trust it and go with it. So what does that mean? There are going to be times, many times, when you're doing something, working on something, and it's as if you are switching into another gear. You are not actually thinking, but more like taking orders or just following through on what you're getting. And that's what they meant by, like, you're the High Priestess, you're here in the physical doing the work, but then you're really tapped in. I mean, we've gotten the High Priestess over and over and over again, so much more now at this time, that's what you're tuning in to, and embodying the High Priestess doing the work here, right? It was 111 on the video when I said that. So there are going to be many times you're doing something, right? You're working on something, and it's as if you are switching into another gear. You're not actually thinking, but more like taking orders or just following through on what you're getting, almost as if you are on autopilot and just carrying out the moves without even so much as thinking about them in the first place, just carrying it out. Now, you can be feeling it's your higher self, right? That it's your higher self kicking in and almost knows what to do faster than you can even receive or think that you can, and you can also really feel like you're getting divine ideas and next moves from your guides or your loved ones passed on. It doesn't really matter even what you think about where it's coming from, just that you trust it and do it and follow through, right? So it doesn't matter. There are going to be times where you really do feel it's your higher self kicking in, and then it could almost feel like it's guidance from your spirit guides or a loved one passed on. But the key point is to trust it and just follow through. What's interesting is you may have had it in your mind. This is a kicker, a real thing to keep in mind. Really interesting. You may have it in your mind to do like a plan A or a plan B, especially when you wake up in the morning on any ordinary day. You can have an idea of what you're going to do, a plan A or B. But at the moment, some kind of greater force comes in to kind of gear you into the autopilot gear, and it steers you off to do something else in the moment rather than the destination you had in mind for the hour. So just let it go, because you will be surprised what you get done and how much you get done. It is a very productive autopilot that knows more than you do almost, right? So trust it. Trust what you get, where it's steering you, what to do, and let it go on productive autopilot. That's why I love that term, productive autopilot, because it is. Afterwards, you can be amazed by what you've done or accomplished. It's as if you were in cahoots with absolute brilliant minds in the task, beyond what you think yourself. It's a gear of literal, what I say, productive autopilot, where you have gotten out of the way of constantly trying to over control or oversteer or overthink, and you got out of the way, and a more brilliant, productive autopilot steps in to help guide and inspire and give you brilliant ideas to use and apply, and you're just off and going and doing. This is productive autopilot. It's what creatives tap into all the time, but you can use this anytime, any day, for anything and any work for it to work. And so the gear of working is brilliant. It's faster, it's more effective and efficient, and it knows where it's really going beyond what you even know, which made me laugh. So when you're working on productive autopilot, just trust it and go with it. And so that was the key message. And I know there's a lot of messages that are piggybacking on the readings of late, because there's a lot of support coming in that you're receiving while you're doing work here in the physical. And sometimes there were previous spirit messages, tips that I've been posting lately on the channel when it comes to what you're doing in the physical, how you're receiving help, direct and indirect. And the whole point is you're receiving this in the High Priestess mode. And even in the High Priestess mode, when they were saying you're getting help directly, just like everything I'm saying for when you're working on productive autopilot, trust it, go with it, is another gear kind of piggybacking on that message. and it's 444 on the video. So there's a lot of love, support, backing coming through for what you're literally doing in the physical. Don't discount all you're getting and receiving. And this is for when you are working on productive autopilot. Just trust it and go with it. I wish you the best with all that you're doing, working on, accomplishing, and all the best to you. Take care. Bye-bye.